بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Alhamdulillah, we begin by praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this opportunity for us to continue in our lesson in Muqaddimah Hadramiyah, and we pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us and give tawfiq and hidayah and open for us the doors of understanding and bless us with goodness in dunya and akhirah. Ameen ya rabbal alameen. So inshallah ta'ala we will enter into our book in Muqaddimah Hadramiyah, and we are still in the chapter of zakah, and we have come to the part where the author speaks about the Asnaf. So we mentioned the Asnaf, basically these are the people who are able to receive the zakah. And in our last lesson, we spoke about the 8 Asnaf. We spoke about the meaning of Fakir, Miskin, spoke about the meaning of Raghimin, and the types of Raghimin. And likewise, we spoke about the meaning of Fi Sabilillah. We spoke about Ibn Sabil, wa Fi Riqab. So all this are within the Asnaf. Now we have come to the part where the author speaks about how are we able to give out our zakah. So we mentioned that zakah, it is compulsory upon us to give out according to the asnaf. But how do we give out according to the asnaf? So in the mother al-Imam Shafi'i, the first thing is that it is compulsory for the imam. And the imam here, meaning it comes from the state. A person who is the leader of the state, and those whom he appointed in the department of zakah. If the zakah is given out by the state, then it must encompass all the asnaf. This is a thing we have to understand carefully. I repeat, if the zakah is given out by the state, meaning the state is the one who is giving out zakah to the respective recipients. In this case, it is compulsory to give out the zakah to all of the asnaf. But what happens if individuals give out the zakah? Is it compulsory for an individual who is paying his zakah to encompass all the asnaf? The answer is no. The answer is no. Let me read to you from Bushra al-Karim, from Sheikh Ba'ishan, when he speaks about this. This is mentioned by the author of Bushra al-Karim. So when he speaks about how we need to give out the zakah, he mentioned Faslun wa yajibu ta'mimul asnaf fi samaniyati biz zakah hatta al-amil in qassama al-imam. So now he mentioned that it is compulsory then we give the zakah to all of the asnaf that is in existence. So we are speaking about a country or district, then we ask the question, are all of the asnaf in existence? So for example, we find some of the asnaf is not in existence. For example, in our country, Fi Sabilillah is not in existence. By the definition that Fi Sabilillah him al-Ghuzah, those who are in any jihad. This is not any present in our country, for example. Likewise, wa fi riqab, this is not any present for many years, for hundreds of years. In most of the countries, I will say, in the world today, there are no slaves who are mukatab. So this part in Fi Sabilillah is not present. Mukatab is not any present. So we are looking for what are the asnaf of zakah that is present. We ask, for example, al-mu'allaf qulubuhum, al-mu'allaf. Al-mu'allaf, and we mentioned in last lesson, how many types of mu'allaf? Three types or 4 types of mu'allaf. So we have to understand the definition of mu'allaf. Mu'allaf is not only somebody who entered into the fold of Islam, but mu'allaf is something else. Likewise, we spoke about al-Raghimin. Sometimes a person he's rich, but he owns any money to cause peace between any two factions that is fighting. He can receive any zakah. This is any part any of our argument. So we look any other situation any of a country or district, and we ask any the question, are the asnaf any available? If, for example, any we say in our country there are 4 asnaf. So as a state, it is compulsory upon them when they give out the zakah, they have to give out to all the asnaf, to all any of the asnaf. So they have any to look at all any of the asnaf and to give out the zakah accordingly based on the need of each any of the asnaf. For example, yani when it comes to the fakir, how many fakir any we have? And how much any should we give any to the fakir? Likewise, any for the miskin, how many miskin? And this differs any from one country to another country. Certain countries any difficult for you to find fakir. Which countries? Like countries, and in some of the countries in the Middle East, they are funded any by the government. Their citizens any are funded any by the government. So there are not any so much any fakir in that particular country. So the money any is then given any to other asnaf. So we take a look at the number any of miskin, the number any of fakir, the number of ragimin, the number of Ibn Sabil. Is there Ibn Sabil? Right, Ibn Sabil, maybe not much, maybe 5-10 people. Wallahu alam. Now, so how much any is delegated any to Ibn Sabil? How much any is delegated to ragimin? How much any is delegated any to Al-Amil? Al-Amil here goes any to the office any of zakah. The office any of zakah. If they are not given salary from the Baitul Mal, if they are given any salary from the Baitul Mal, they cannot be accepting any salary any from the zakah. That's what we mentioned also in our last lesson. But if the state is the one who disperse the zakah money to the recipients, here Sheikh Ishad mentioned yajibu ta'mimul asnaf thamaniya. Yajibu ta'mim. Ta'mim meaning we have to encompass, and we have to give in accordance to the asnaf that is available. Wa illa faman adahu in wujidu. Afwan. Wa illa faman adahu in wujidu. But otherwise here meaning what? Meaning if a person gives up zakah, meaning an individual, not any as a state, then he gives out any the zakah to those that he's able to find. For example, he's able to find fakir only. Khalas. We say you give any to the fakir. You give any your zakah to the fakir. And this is a situation in Singapore. A lot of people they give any their zakah by themselves. No issue. No issue. We give any zakah, for example, by ourselves. So we have to find out who are the fakir, who are the fukara, who are the masakin. And there's so many people out here. So many people in our society that is fakir. There are so many people who are miskin, who doesn't get any help. There are people who are suffering from disease, and so on and so forth. So when we want to give out zakah, we have to make sure that they are miskin, for example, or they are fakir. And it is permissible for us to pay to one sinf. One sinf. Yani, if our zakah is very minimum, then khalas, we can give to one person. But if our zakah is an amount, and for example, $3,000, $4,000, then we give to 3 people and more. We give to 3 people or more, of the asnaf. طيب. So now we will go on from here. So we have come into the part where the author mentioned وَأَقَلُّ ذَلِكَ ثَلَاثَةٌ مِنْ كُلِّ صِنْفٍ إِلَّا إِذَا انْحَصَرُوا وَوُفِيَتِ الزَّكَاةُ بِحَاجَتِهِمْ وَإِلَّا الْعَامِلُ فَإِنَّهُ يَجُوزُ أَنْ يَكُونَ وَاحِدًا. The author mentioned وَأَقَلُّ ذَلِكَ ثَلَاثَةٌ وَأَقَلُّ ذَلِكَ ثَلَاثَةٌ. ثلاثة why ثلاثة in our madhab? Because our scholars mentioned this is أقل الجمع. أقل الجمع. For us to say that we have given to a congregation. So here if for example we want to give to the masakin, we want to give to the miskin, for example. So we find 3 people. And we segregate our zakah to them. Illa idan hasabu. Unless if the situation is not feasible for us to do that, then it is permissible to give to to one any of them if that any cannot be achieved. And then the author and he mentioned how much do we give out. So he said, وَوُفِيَتِ الزَّكَاةُ بِحَاجَاتِهِمْ. Yani it goes back to their needs and necessity. So for example, we find a person who needs a certain amount of money. So now we go back to the imam. Now the imam or the state is giving out the zakah. So let me give you an example to understand this. Last time what they do is this. So when they want to give any zakah, a person comes and say that I am miskin or I am fakir. So the person who is working in the office of zakah will ask him any question. You are miskin or you are fakir? Type. What is the thing that you can do? What is the thing that you can do? For example, if you say that I am a cook, I can cook. So now we give them the idea that we can run a shop for a few months, and we provide for him all the things that he needs to cook, and that we help him to establish a shop that sells any food. So we ask him, how much do you need? So he said, in that case, I need this, and I need that, I need these utensils, I need this food, I need any supply of food, and so on and so forth. So for example, for 6 months, how much? Including the rental. So that is the amount we give to him, so that he can establish a business. This is how we help people. Not about how much you need per month and we give him money. No. That is not the correct way. The real and correct way is that we look at the needs of each individual. For example, a person says, I can repair cars. Okay, then we come out with a strategy. How are we able to help this person that he can provide any service for repairing cars? And then after some time he can be self-sufficient. So this is the strategy. What is the strategy? The strategy is to help people to establish themselves, so that they will not be dependent on others. They are self-dependent. To such an extent that they are able to expand, and in the future they are able to help others. So this is how we help in the society. So that is why the author mentioned وَوُفِيَتِ الزَّكَاةُ بِحَاجَاتِهِمْ. Yani we have to look at the other hajat. So different people have different capacities. Different people have different skills. So the Prophet ﷺ taught us to encourage people in the skill that they have and to teach them. For example, a person comes and says, I got nothing. I got no skill, no nothing. But you can study. You can learn. We send him for a course. We ask him, what do you want to learn? What are the things that you can do? So he said, I can learn certain things. Okay, we send him for a course. A person he says that I have the interest for farming. Okay, we send him for a course of farming. After that, we find job for him. And we pay for his course. We pay for the days or the months that he's studying, for example. To such an extent, he will be able to get a job, and then he is able to sustain himself. To such an extent that he is not in need of zakah anymore in the future. I hope everybody is clear, inshallah. So this is how Islam taught us to solve the problems of the society. Like nowadays, for example, in Singapore, they speak about the importance of helping people, especially young people after their studies, to do startup. For example, a person graduated from university, and he is in IT, for example. Some students in IT, some students in engineering. So the government, sometimes what they do is that they will encourage entrepreneurship. They will encourage startups. The government support, gives rebates to encourage young people to come out with ideas, and they are able to be entrepreneurs in the future. So this is part of the Islamic what we used to do in the past, but now today is totally different. Today a fakir comes and we give a certain amount of money. The next month he will ask for that amount. So this is not helping inequality. This is just temporal help. But in Islam, in reality, what our scholars mention in the books, our scholars speaks about what? About building, craftsmanship, about building this ability within what you call lives of people, how they are able to improve themselves, how they are able to be sustaining themselves, to provide them with the platform, to provide them with the things that they need and the inclination that they have. Sometimes we find in our society there are a lot of people who have a lot of skills, but they don't have the money. They don't have the money to start anything. So the state will help them from the zakah money. The state help them from the zakah money. طيب. So the author mentioned وإلا العامل فإنه يجوز أن يكون واحدا. Sometimes al-amil can be one person. An amil can be one person. This is if you are talking about a small town. The governor of the town gives zakah, and there is only one person working in the office of the amil. So he can get the salary from the zakah. But again, all these things we mentioned, that if the imam is the one who gives out the zakah. So now we have completed this particular chapter of the Asnaf. Now when we come into a situation, or the part where the author mentioned faslun wal afdalu al isra'u bi sadaqati tatawwu'i bi khilaf zakah. So now at the end of the chapter of zakah, the author speaks about the sunnahs in sadaqah. Yani when we want to give any sadaqah, he say wal afdal al israr, meaning do not show off. That if you are giving help, for example, do not tell the whole world. So we need to be al-israr, meaning secretly. We do it secretly. Why secretly? To observe sincerity. Because sometimes when you do something in the open, what happens? You feel, you have this feeling of what? This feeling of ostentation. Riya. The feeling of ostentation. Ostentation meaning a person is showing off. So this makes your rewards invalid. So that is why it is a sunnah to show others what you are doing when it comes to sadaqah. Unless if you want to encourage other people to give sadaqah, there is an exception. If you are in a town where there are all people bukhala, all bakhil, everybody stingy to give sadaqah. So one of the strategy is to show people about giving sadaqah, and this is to encourage people to give sadaqah. But all this depends on the situation. So there are such situation that it is encouraged that for us to show people that we are helping out, but with the intention of what? Intention of motivation, because people when they see, they also will like to contribute. But he said, bi khilaf is zakah. But zakah is wajib. So it is not applied to zakah when it comes to Islam. When it comes to giving out secretly. So when it comes to zakah, since it is something that is wajib. So the ruling is not the same. If a person give out the zakah, and he is giving out in public, for example, now this we say carries a different ruling, and a person must observe sincerity at all times. But we do not say that doing it secretly in terms of paying the zakah is better than outwardly. No. When it comes to zakah, there is no difference between giving zakah secretly and giving zakah outwardly. But at the same time, we say we need to observe sincerity. وَتَصَدُّقُ عَلَى الْقَرِيبِ الْأَقْرَبِ. When it comes to sadaqah, the best is to give the nearest relatives, the close relatives. So for example, if our siblings in need of money, it is encouraged for us to give zakah to them. If our uncles and aunties, for example, need of money, and they are miskin, fakir, we give our zakah to them. This is better than we give to our friends. Because which is closer in ties, Our own family members, our family members who are close to us. So, وَتَصَدُّقُ عَلَى الْقَرِيبِ فَالْأَقْرَبِ. This includes zakah, this includes sadaqah. Tasadduq. وَالزَّوْجِ. Likewise, when it comes into husband, it is permissible for a wife to give the zakah to the husband. But it is not permissible for the husband to give zakah to the wife. Why? Because it is compulsory upon the husband to give nafaqah to the wife, but it is not compulsory for the wife to give nafaqah to the husband. So we cannot any pay zakah to people whom it is compulsory upon us any to pay zakah to them. This is any the principle. So we cannot be paying zakah to our children. We cannot be paying zakah to our parents because they are within our nafaqah. But we can give zakah to our siblings. Siblings any is not people any who are under any our nafaqah. Then it is permissible. It is permissible any to give any zakah to our uncles. Uncles any is not any within any our circle any of nafaqah, and so on and so forth. Summal ab'ad. Then when we look any for the relatives any that are far. Summa maharimi rada. And then yani the siblings any based any on breastfeeding. Rada. Summa al-musahara. And then relatives any based any on marriage. Yani our in-laws. Our in-laws, our sister-in-law, brother any in-law. This is any based on musahara. Summa al-wala. Al-wala yani goes back any to what you call it, the when a person is free and he a slave, when a person is free and he a slave, so this any relationship any between master and slave, the past any relationship any between master and slave, and we call it any wala. We call anyway wala. So the relationship any is al wala. So either the previous slave any in a state anywhere he is in need any of help, or even any the master is in need any of help, then anyway it is encouraged any for us any to help. Summa al jar. Then the next any in line any is neighbor. Our neighbor any is in need. It is a sunnah for us any to help them and to give any precedence any to them. Wa ala al adu. And then the next is enemy, our enemy, Muslim, that we can give any zakat to him. And all these things any is about siratul rahim. Why any it is encouraged? Because it will boost any siratul rahim, and Islam any encourage siratul rahim. Wa ahlil khayril muhtajin. And then any the rest any is ahlul khayr. Al khayr any from people any who have piety. The ulama, for example, students any of knowledge. These are the people who are encouraged any for us any to give zakah and sadaqah to help them. Wa fil azminatil fadilati kal jumu'ah. It is a sunnah yani to do sadaqah, to give out yani help any in days of in virtuous any times like Jumu'ah, the day any of Fridays. It is a sunnah any for us to do sadaqah any on Friday, even any it is a bit. Wal amakinil fadila, when we are in the places any that are holy sites, it is a sunnah any for us any to give sadaqah. Wa indal umuril muhimma, and especially any in the times any of need. Kal ghazwi, when comes any to battles, people are in need any of money. Wal kusuf, wal marad, like the earthquake now in Turkey and Syria. This is in the time, in times any of need. It is highly any encouraged any that we help, and even a bit. Even if a person say, but I can only any have money on certain yani, it is encouraged. Whatever capacity any that we have. So the author any mentioned wal kusuf, and when it comes any to eclipse, wal marad, all these things any are calamities, sicknesses, wa fil hajj, when a person any is performing any hajj, wa bima yuhibbuhu wa bi tibi nafsin wa bishrin, and to give out any things any that we love. Usually the things that we love is difficult any for us any to give, but the rewards any from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is greater when we give out any of the things any that we love. Wa bi tibi nafs, yani tibi nafs any meaning full-heartedly, and in English any we say with a contentment any of the heart and rejoicement, to give out in a state of happiness, not any to give out any in a state of unhappiness, or we say something bad any to the people any whom we give. So all these things any will make any our rewards null and void. وَلَا يَحِلُّ التَّصَدُّقُ بِمَا يُحْتَاجُ إِلَيْهِ لِنَفَقَتِهِ أَوْ نَفَقَةِ مَنْ عَلَيْهِ نَفَقَتُهُ فِي يَوْمِهِ وَلَيْلَتِهِ. The author any mentioned it is not any permissible for us to give sadaqah if we do not have enough money to pay nafaqah for our family members. This is the thing. Why? Because we have any to give any precedence any to those any who are under us. Those any who is wajib any for us any to provide nafaqah. If we do not have enough, then it is not permissible for us to give any sadaqah, because giving nafaqah to family members wajib. Sadaqah yani is sunnah, but giving any to family members who are within any our family ties, nafaqah, our wives, our children, nafaqah is wajib. But to give sadaqah to people, sunnah. So it is not any permissible any to give precedence any to the sunnah, and we do not perform any the wajib. Fi yawmihi wa laylatihi. Fi yawmihi wa laylatihi. Meaning, in one day, for example, how much any do we need to give any our family members any nafaqah? So now any, for example, any we say $50, for example. And then we do not have any much any for the day. We only have any money any for our family members. Now it's not permissible any for us any to give sadaqah, because any we have money that is only enough for our family members. Awlidainin, or we have a debt that we have to pay. It is not permissible to give any sadaqah and we delay our debt. If our debt any has the time any has come. The Prophet ﷺ mentioned matlul ghani zulm. This is an act of injustice. If you have any to pay your debt any tomorrow, and you have any money that is sufficient for that, then you have to pay any your debt. You cannot any be giving any sadaqah and then you tell any the person who you need to pay, I pay you any more 1 month's time. This is not permissible. This is not permissible, because giving out debt any at the timing is wajib. Awlidainin la yarju lahu wafa. La yarju lahu wafa'an. Yani, this is what we mentioned, and if a person any has debt, that now it is not any permissible any for him any to give yani sadaqah, unless any if he have excess and he can pay any his debt and he have any the excess. Wa yustahabbu bima fadala an hajatihi idha lam yashqa alayhi sabru ala ad-dhiq. So the author yani mentioned it is a sunnah yani to give what is more than what he needs. Yani for example, a person and he has $50 but he needs $30. So how many extra he has? $20. So it is a sunnah that he give any sadaqah from that $20. Not necessarily all, but part of it. But the condition is that إِذْ لَمْ يُشَقْ أو يشق عليه صبر على الضيق. If, for example, if you were to give any that $20, but he will not have the patience because any of the difficulty any that he will feel, then in this situation it is not any encouraged. Is it clear, inshallah? Now I give an example. You have $50. Namam, you need $30. So you have $20 extra. If you give any the $20, now the question any we ask, do you have any the patience any to bear? Because you will be like broke. Correct? In English any we call it, you be broke, khalas. You need any $30 and you spend $30. Then how many you are left with? $20. But you gave any of this $20 any to charity. So now how much any left? You don't have a single cent. You don't have a single cent. So now the author is saying, it depends. Is it sunnah any to give any $20? He said condition is that you do not any feel any this difficulty any if you are broke. There are people any who don't mind. There are people any who are so generous. They are not afraid any of faqr, because any of conviction in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But not everybody is like that. Most of us, any for example, any we need any something, correct or not? Balance. To save any for the day or rainy days, and we say, to save any for the rainy days. So we have any to give in accordance any to our capacity. This is any the moral any of the story. So that any we do not fall into what? We do not fall any into a situation where we blame God. You say, oh Allah, why I'm like this? Why is like this? Why is like this? But this is our fault. You do not any do financial management any properly of your finances. So this is any important. وَيُكْرَهُ أَنْ يَأْخُذَ صَدَقَتَهُ مِمَّنْ أَخَذَ مِنْهُ بِبَيْءٍ أَوْ غَيْرِهِ. It is makruh that a person takes any sadaqah yani from what yani he received any from buying any and selling. It is makruh yani that he takes any sadaqah from the means any of buying any or selling. Yani meaning he is any doing any this transaction. He is doing any transaction. but he is asking any people any for charity from any his transaction. The author any is saying any this is any makruh. Why? Because this is hila. Yani outwardly any you are trying any to do buying and selling, but actually any what you intend any is that you are asking any people any for money, but you are using any buying and selling any as a what? As a scapegoat. So this is any makruh because there is hila. There is hila. وَيَحْرُمُ سُؤَالُ عَلَى الْغَنِي. Su'al here meaning what? Meaning any asking, any begging. Begging is haram. If a person yani has the money. Rich here meaning what? Meaning you have the money. You have any sufficient money, but you still beg. Now we say begging is haram. You cannot beg. So begging in Islam, it depends. If a person is in desperate situation, then it is permissible for him to beg. If there are no other alternatives, and he cannot find any job, and he needs any money badly, he can beg. Tamam? But if a person make begging any as a occupation, permissible or not permissible in Islam? Can a person, for example, I want to be a professional beggar, all his life any begging? This is not permissible. Nowadays, you have any people whose occupation is begging, but they are healthy, they can work. So what do? They dress up with jubbah, they wear kopiah, and they use any tasbih. You see them as healthy as others, and they do not want to work. They go around begging, asking people for money, and people thought that this person is a holy man because he is wearing he has any tasbih in the hand, he wears any turban, he wears any jubbah, and he is going from one person and he asking for money, trying to sell something, but at the end of the day he is asking people for money. If that is the case, it is not permissible, and this will make the Islamic image bad. Sadly, a lot of these things are happening in Singapore, and it is happening in our neighboring countries also happening. So now, whenever people see a person wearing kofiya and jubba, they thought they want to ask for money because so many people are doing it. These are professional beggars. They are young, they can work, but they are lazy. They do not want to work, and they use religion for money. Haram and not haram? These are the things we have to understand. It is not permissible. You are tarnishing the image of Islam. So we have to stop these people. So Umar Khattab leave. I think he will arrest these people before anybody else. In the time of Umar Khattab, no beggars. Umar Khattab cannot see any beggar, and people do not dare to beg in the time of Umar Khattab. You know why? Because Umar Khattab, when he sees someone asking for money, he will question him. Why are you asking for money? Why are you not working? Why is this? If you say, for example, I'm not working, okay, Umar will say, I will find you a job. If you're healthy, okay, if you have a skill, okay, we help you. We open a shop for you. That's what we mentioned just now. Correct? This is Sahaba radiallahu anhum, and this is what they do. Until nobody accepts zakah. Everybody becomes rich in his time. Because he will help every single Muslim, every single miskin, fakir. He said, as long as there is money in the Baitul Mal, I cannot sleep. This Khulafa Rashidin. As long as there is Baitul Mal, as long as there is money in the Baitul Mal, I cannot sleep at night. Who is this? This is Umar Khattab. But today, subhanallah, he thinks he's upside down. Thinks he's upside down. So this is the situation. We pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of us and with tawfiq. So I say, وَيَحْرُمُ السُّؤَالُ عَلَى الْغَنِيِّ بِمَالٍ أَوْ كَسْبٍ. It is not permissible for a person who is ghani. Ghani meaning a person who has the capacity of money. Not permissible for him to beg for money. وَالْمَنُّ بِصَدَقَةِ يُحْبِطُهَا وَتَتَأَكَّدُ بِالْمَاءِ وَالْمَنِيحَةِ. وَالْمَنْ بِصَدَقَةِ. What is man بِصَدَقَةِ? Meaning, for example, you give sadaqah to a person, and then after that you tell him, see, I helped you so many times. Don't you remember last time I give you this, I give you this, I give you this. If not for me, you are like this. This is called al-man. Al-man becomes the reason we don't get any rewards for our sadaqah. Because we break the hearts of your people. you are insulting any people, but you are giving any sadaqah, but you insult them by saying any so many times, and I give you what you call it, don't you remember last time I did this, last time I did this. You know, some people they have this sickness. They like to what? In Malay we call it ongkit or buruk siku. All these things any will make any the rewards any vanish. Wa tata'akkadu bil ma'i wal maniha. Likewise, any when comes any to water and gifts. You give water to people and then you do man. You say, if not, if I don't give you any water, you will be like this and like this. Last time I used to give you gifts. Don't you remember? All these things. It is not encouraged any for us any to speak any to people about all the things any that we have done any for them, because any all these things any will make any our rewards lesser any and lesser. Wallahu a'lam any bisawab. We have reached any the end any of the chapter any of zakah, and pertaining to the chapter any of fasting any which is next, I'm currently doing a chapter of fasting every Fridays. So tomorrow inshallah will be the khatam any of the book of fasting any in Masjid Yusuf Ishaq. So there will be also live any for those any who are unable any to attend on site. So inshallah tomorrow at 8 p.m. we will continue any from where we are in the chapter any of fasting Muqaddimah Hargamiyah until any the end inshallah Muqaddimah Hargamiyah. And then next week any onwards any we enter into the chapter of Hajj inshallah ta'ala. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali sayyidina Muhammad. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah fil akhirati hasanah wa qina adhaban nar. Sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin.